2 words: infrared technology. That's what helicopters are starting to become equipped with now. Police helicopters, that is. It's not enough to just have power. It's not enough to have gas. It's not enough to know where you're going. Because when you've got a helicopter with infrared technology that is literally measuring the heat coming off your car, you're never getting away from it. Dodge Challenger HELLCAT takes off on Michigan police, smokes the state police, smokes the highway patrol, smokes the city cop. Cannot beat a helicopter because the helicopter's got infrared technology, and that Hellcat is on fire. The tires are hot as hell because they've been doing 160. The brakes are hot as hell because they've been doing 160, braking in and out, right? And then of course the engine is hot as hell. The car looks like a Christmas tree under an infrared camera. You're never getting away from it. These cops are not playing with you. They're getting smarter. Let's get into it. What's up, guys? It's your boy Knockout 360 here with another video, man. So you can tell I'm in a house that makes it a house vlog. You already know how it's going down. When I come around, let's get into it. I've got car content, car shows, car reviews, car meets. Anything and everything car related happens on this channel. So if you're into that, make sure that you stick around. Hit that like button as well as that subscribe button so that you know what's coming out and when it's coming out. So I'm not even going to waste your time. Let's get into it.
August 17th, 2022, an officer of the Grand Blanc Township Police Department was patrolling his corner of Flint, Michigan, when he witnessed a highly dangerous situation taking place. In the dark of night, 2 vehicles were speeding down Interstate 475 at over 100 miles per hour. From the way the 2 cars were accelerating, it seems like they were allegedly racing. The officer turned on his lights and siren and attempted to apprehend and stop the vehicles. One of the cars, a Dodge Challenger HELLCAT, surely knew he could easily outrun the officer.
Easy.
So he did just that. Seeing the approaching police vehicle, the driver took off at astonishing speed. Once the police cruiser was out of sight, the driver thought he and his car had accomplished an easy getaway.
First mistake right there. If you were going to run from the police, I'm not advocating or condoning it, but if you were going to run from the police, get your ass home immediately. Regardless of how bad you smoked them, regardless of you being able to see them in your rearview mirror, get home immediately. Get your car in the garage immediately. Like, make that priority 1. Not what this guy did, however.
The Hellcat continued to cruise the streets, not knowing that the officer wasn't his main concern. His biggest problem was actually up in the air above him.
The Challenger took off on me, going at least 130 right now. He's coming under Bristol Road.
It quickly became apparent that the Hellcat wouldn't be caught on the ground. So the Grand Blanc Township Police Department made a snap decision. They solicited the help of the Michigan State Police, who dispatched a police helicopter just seconds after receiving the call.
Seconds after receiving the call, they contacted Michigan State Police and they dispatched a helicopter. Everybody always says that the only reason police departments dispatch helicopters is if it's a warrant stop, or if it's a murder or drug stop, or you stole somebody's car, or they really want you. Not in this case. They just happen to be street racing, and Michigan State Police pulled out all the stops. Be careful. Now look at this view right here. What stands out to you? This right here. What is that? That's the Dodge Challenger HELLCAT. That's infrared technology.
I lost it. Last seen northbound near the lake. I'm not sure which one it is, just North Addison Road. We got him coming through the curves. It's dark color, that's all I can tell you.
The reason the Hellcat appears white in this footage is because the pilot is using a forward-looking infrared, or FLIR camera to track the car. For those who don't know, an infrared camera detects the heat that a person or object gives off. The Hellcat has been consistently traveling at a high speed, from the racing to being chased. As a result, the car's wheels have become very hot, hence why it's glowing whiter than the cars around it. This is a look.
So look at the Hellcat. Look how white that car is. Everything about that car is white. The tires, the wheels, the brakes, and then the closer they get to it, obviously you'll see the engine. But look at the Hellcat Challenger, which looks like a Challenger even on infrared, compared to this car here. This car is a little bit illuminated. You can see the tires. It looks like the brakes more than anything. Look at this damn Hellcat looking like a Christmas tree. Infrared technology. Infrared cameras, sensors, sense heat. The human eye cannot detect infrared waves, but an infrared specific sensor or camera can. It detects it and it, displays it as heat signature. We got the hottest damn cars in America. Trust me when I say that. And it was easy. It was easy to pick this Challenger Hellcat up.
Lucky break for the officers, since this makes their target stick out like a sore thumb.
Sore thumb. Look at it.
A little bit. Swerved around some vehicles. Still driving extremely recklessly while...
You see no ground troopers near him at all. They've called him off. They don't even need him at this point because they're just going to use the helicopter to follow him.
Nobody should be in his trunk. You can't either. No way you can see the scrambling car.
According to the speedometer in the upper right-hand corner of the monitor, the helicopter had to reach a speed of almost 150 miles per hour to keep up with the performance car as it sped down the highway. If an unobstructed flying craft had to fly that fast to keep pace, one can imagine how fast the Hellcat must have been going on the ground.
So the helicopter is going 130, 140 plus, and you can see the helicopter is clearly behind the Hellcat. So in order for the helicopter to even get that close, clearly the Hellcat was pushing 160, 170 plus. And you can see them on a, 2, 4, 5 lane highway, plenty of room at nighttime, no cops, wide open. Does not matter that you have the power. It doesn't matter that you have the space. The police one step ahead of you.
Chavez now, then up to Robert T.
They're activating at Robert T.
And it looks like it's going to be an orange, burnt orange Challenger with maybe a white racing stripe or something similar. It's going to be westbound.
He was fucking up this description so bad. Clearly it's not a orange, it's gray, but he calls it the right make and model, but he gives it the wrong color. And then listen to him.
Robert T. That's my bad on the color. It's actually a bit gray. It's a gray Charger, black racing.
Gray Charger with black racing stripes. Nope, it's not a Charger, but it is gray with black racing stripes.
Stripes, completely wrong. Boulevard now, still westbound, normal speeds about 40. Third James Pico, still westbound, normal speeds. Slowing up here at Garland.
And see, he's taking his time. At this point, he's stopping at the red lights. He's stopping in the intersection, slowing down, putting his turn signal on, because he think that he got away. Unbeknownst to him, this helicopter, which is probably, 5,000, 7, 8, 9,000 feet in the air, and obviously you can't hear it, is just monitoring him. No ground troops at all at this point.
Making a southbound turn into the parking lot.
Make a left. And turn. When you get into the parking lot, you have another car comes out.
So he thinks that he's going to duck off behind some building in the back. You can't do that when you got a helicopter that's watching you 24/7. Cops, boom, right there.
Maybe you're reversing. Any cars are coming in right now, you might be able to get them. So use the in reverse, flying back out to this right now.
Yep. Gone. The Hellcat sounds good though. I mean, I must say, it does sound good. Gone.
At its fastest point, the police cruiser was recorded going 71 miles per hour after the Hellcat. Even at that considerably high rate of speed, the Challenger was still going at least twice as fast as it sped out of sight.
Gone.
Yeah, lost a tire at Bradley, southbound on Bradley.
And then once again, back to the infrared camera, just chilling.
We get some people in the area. Houston.
Copy, southbound Bradley, lost the tire.
Judging by the homes and narrow streets, it appears that the Challenger has entered a suburb. He might be cutting through, or he might be attempting to flee by hiding in or around the houses. If he plans to do the latter, then that presents an entirely new set of problems for police.
Lincoln right now, northbound. It's going to be coming back up towards M21 here in a second. It's just south M21. He's bull.
And then, of course, this is when things get stupid. There's always at one point in any police chase when the driver does something stupid, right? And this is the stupid part right here.
Blacked out.
So he's blacked out, no headlights, no taillights. Look at that engine glowing. Look at that supercharger, baby. Look at the wheels right there. Look at the wheels. Look at the tires. Look at the brakes. Look at all that. You can literally see the supercharger right here under the hood of the car. That's how hot that damn car is. And it's standing out like a sore thumb. That's wild.
Pulling into an address right now on Lincoln. The numbers are going to be Lincoln Drive.
You can see the heat coming through the heat extractors. Those heat extractors are literally doing their job. But you can see the supercharger right here. You can see all the heat coming through the heat extractors. The wheels and tires are literally on fire.
Driver's door is open.
That's wild.
Lincoln, that's Lincoln in Chicago. Driver's at the truck.
Look at that.
Walked into an address next door, which I think
Bro is just chilling. Hops out the car chilling. Challenger's on fire.
is at Lincoln. There's a pickup truck in the driveway and an SUV darked out further out. He's up in the...
Let's skip over a
away,
little bit.
as if he were somewhat comfortable being there.
Yep.
However, notice that his female passenger doesn't get out of the car. This could be his residence, or this could be the home of a complete stranger.
Cars on scene, if you could sit tight, pull the perimeter. We got a dog around.
Yep,
The
they've
purpose
set up
of
a perimeter.
perimeter is to close the perpetrator in on all sides by
Yep.
blocking off all primary avenues of travel in the immediate area. If a potential escape route is left unpatrolled, the suspect can...
Troop 3, where's the dog at? I might have it behind one house to the north of where the vehicle is.
He's sitting here hiding in the bushes. The helicopter infrared technology is just, come on now.
Hard as hell though right now. I just need somebody here, the K9 to go check it.
The 45-minute manhunt came to an end shortly after, and with
course.
no casualties or injuries sustained.
Guys, of course he went to jail. But, I always tell you guys that if you're going to run from police, and once again, I do not condone it. I don't advocate it. I don't participate in it. Right? But I always tell you that if you are going to run from the police, that you got to have the big three. You got to have the power, you got to have the gas, and you got to know where you're going. Sometimes, guys, that's just not enough. This guy had all three of them. He had the power, 700 plus horsepower Hellcat, 200 miles an hour on the dash. I think at the highest rate, he was doing probably 160, 165. And there is no police cruiser, highway patrol, automobile that's catching up to that. You know what I'm saying? Even a helicopter, to be honest with you. The helicopter the entire time was behind him on the highway, which means he was leaving even the helicopter. He had the gas, obviously, because he never ran out at any point. He knew where he was going because he was on the highway for most of the chase. He was doing everything by the books. He even went blacked out, turned his headlights and taillights off. Literally, police chase 101 stuff. He did it all. But the police were one step ahead of him, infrared technology. Now, mind you, I don't know if this is new because this chase actually happened in 2023. Right? It actually happened in 2023. So I'm assuming this technology has been around for a little while. And I don't think it's specific to this department in Michigan. I'm sure other departments have it as well. But that's just one of those things where you just can't, you can't. You just can't, It started out as a street race. You know what I'm saying? This may be too bright. Can you guys see me? Yeah. It started out as a street race. It started out with him racing somebody, and then the trooper pulled up on him at 100 miles an hour. And that's when he lit him up. I can understand why he ran in that scenario, because let's just be real here. You're clearly street racing, reckless driving, 100 miles an hour plus. If you do pull over, it's not just going to be a ticket. Like, your car's getting impounded, you're getting taken to jail. It's going to be a serious deal. So I'm not going to say that, once again, I don't condone it, but I understand it. I understand why he ran. But the fact that he ran and got away from the trooper in the beginning, and he thought everything was gravy and just took his time cruising through the streets, that was probably his biggest mistake right there. I just told you guys that if you are going to run, as soon as you run, you need to get your ass out of Dodge. No pun intended. Like, you need to get off the road immediately. Get that car into a garage or something. Get that car under a parking deck. Get it out of sight and lay low. Had he laid low after that first encounter with that trooper, he would have been straight. We wouldn't have had this video. But the fact that homeboy just wanted to cruise around like he beat somebody, you can't do that. Not to mention, a lot of you guys in the comments, and I've even said this myself, you guys say that the only time that a police department will dispatch a helicopter is if it's a warrant stop for somebody that they got a warrant on that they've been looking for, or if it's a drug stop, maybe they have suspicion that you got drugs in the car, a murder case, you know what I'm saying? You're a murderer and they suspect that, you're the guy and you're in this Hellcat. So they're going to pull out all the stops to stop you, or pull out all the stops to apprehend you. Not in this case. In this case, it was just some good old-fashioned street racing, and that cop did not want to let it go. And he called over to the state police and said, listen, take this over. And they dispatched the helicopter. Or maybe the helicopter was already in the area. That's probably what it was. The fact that the helicopter was already in the area, and it was one of those things like, we'll take it from here. And that's exactly what they did. So when you guys run from police thinking that, you know, all you got to do is beat that 157 or beat that 136 or beat that 14, you know, Taurus, you don't know. Because if they dispatch the helicopter, your ass is not, you're not getting away. Especially if they got this infrared technology. This is the first chase that I've seen with the infrared technology. And I mean, it, you know, did exactly what it was supposed to do. If more departments had this equipped on their helicopters, everybody going to jail. You know what I'm saying? Like the only scenario that I could see this guy getting away is if he had stayed on the highway and was pushing 180, 200 miles an hour. Because there was a point where he was going so fast that the helicopter was literally kind of behind him and losing him. But then he got off the highway and then got on the back roads because in his head, he didn't see any cops. He didn't see any troopers on the road. So he's thinking that he's got away. Little does he know, Eye in the Sky has been watching him the whole time. But aside from that, I mean, you're getting caught. Like, you just got to take that L. To see that car lit up the way that it was, and I mean, let's be honest here. Our cars get extremely hot. Tires get hot as hell, right? Because we've been on it 160 plus miles an hour. The brakes are hot as hell, for obvious reasons. And then, of course, the engine is hot as hell because it's a damn Hellcat engine. Like, all of our cars are hot. So everything about this car that was benefiting him actually worked against him. The power, the speed, all that stuff actually ended up being his, you know, Achilles heel. The reason that his ass got caught. I've never seen anything like this, but if this is something that's equipped on all helicopters, to you guys out there, I say, you better be careful. Just take that L. In this case, I understand why he ran, but he made a lot of mistakes in between then that really could have been avoided and could have turned this into a real easy situation. But, you know, learning lesson nonetheless. As always, it's been your boy Knockout 360. Don't run, guys. Just don't run. You know what I'm saying? Just don't run. Take the L. You know, take the L. Live to see another day. As always, it's been your boy Knockout 360. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.